civilization cycle, interviews experts and individuals who understand the intensifying cycle of economic, societal, and government upheaval, so you can stay ahead of the changes in our world and keep your family safe. Fortunately for us, we can recognize that we're at the precipice, a point in history where we can all see the cycle changing. Where we go from here is up to us. So let's start the conversation, and welcome to the show.
I followed the 2002 pattern where it's basically a 2-year market sell-off, and it's just gonna grind people into oblivion. And so big money is gonna force small money to panic because they don't want to pay premium for this stuff. Bitcoin is a reflection of the failure of fiat. And the ironic thing about it, Dave, is that Bitcoin is not going to be worth any more than it is today, except that everything else is going to be worth so much less.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Bob Kudla, trade genius. Oh, the world has spun. We're coming to the end of the year. What's going to 2025? What does that have in store for us? Destruction and rebirth seems like on a lot of people's tongues, but a lot of opportunity. Remember that Chinese proverb, opportunity and danger, the two characters Wei Ji. One of those is opportunity, even though it is dangerous. So how do we move through 2025? Today, we want to talk about the infinity play. People are rolling on Bitcoin, the energy rollover, and the tech top, maybe one more bump and we're down, plus XRP with the real USD going into enterprise customer payments next year. So the world, as you know, in terms of fiat currencies is truly, we're in a changing world here. So Bob's here to discuss it with us. I'm so happy and grateful he's here with me. So enjoy the conversation. Take what you will for you to improve your life and share with others. Thanks for joining, Bob.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hey, look, we're going to do rapid round here. We got like 30 minutes. First thing I'll start off with the advertisement. Hey, come check out our site. Check out the landing page that Dave has.
Tradewith2030.com.
Last month, you guys enthusiastically embraced what we're doing here, and we think this is 2025 is going to be a year to remember. Life-changing money is going to be made, and we think we have a pretty good handle on this. Some really interesting thing. Now that Trump's in office, well, he's been elected in office in January, some things are getting clearer for us. At the same time, we are slipping into a global recession. The United States won't avoid it. It won't be as bad as the rest of the world, but some of the policies that Trump's going to do is going to cause some short-term pain for the stock market.
so you will always know what's for dinner.
So I want to blast through it. Look, pharma and biotech are gonna struggle. Energy is gonna struggle. Big tech's gonna struggle. Defense contractors are gonna struggle. Okay. Now, what's gonna probably still be moving, is that you're gonna probably get a lift in the bond market because there'll be less spending involved here, and I think there's still gonna be a short-term move yet in Bitcoin between now and the inauguration. A lot of people think Bitcoin is going to run until September. We think that the halving cycle is going to be actually truncated this year based on the recession. So it's going to cause a lot of volatility in the market. So, you want to be long, you're going to want to be long volatility. You want to be long the long bonds, and you're going to want to be long some of these short ETFs, in which will be positioning for people. But we're talking mid-December now. Between mid-December and mid-January, there's going to be probably a pretty good pop here, Santa rally, and then they call what's called the first of the year rally, and then front running the inauguration, and then after that, I think we're going to slip back. But Dave and I will be talking before that inauguration again in January. So, and then Bitcoin is making new highs, so it keeps trying to push up. We're looking at 111. And then we're looking at 121, Dave. And then from there, do we get an irrational spike in Bitcoin, or does that kind of top the season? So that's kind of my monologue in a quick nutshell. But plenty of opportunities, and the volatility is going to be our friend if you're a trader.
Yeah, so let me pick up on that. So I want to go into the psychology of it, because the psychology moves markets here. So Trump comes in inauguration day. So what's the psychology behind markets tanking off or declining after that? Is it just fear of new policies, or is it fear of too much restructuring of the economy and different divisions and offices within the government? What do you think is the psychology of the change of this versus the regular halving cycle running through? What's going to terrify people to change their normal behavior patterns over the last, say, 12 years of Bitcoin halving cycles?
Bitcoin actually follows the global money supply, offset by 3 months. And so the global money supply has been collapsing. And the United States is the biggest generator of money supply. You're talking about the Doji project, right? You're talking about Trump trying to kill inflation. Well, all those things, you need to reduce the money supply in order for those things to happen. That will affect Bitcoin. Unless Bitcoin decides that this cycle is a cycle that they're going to change and become the ultimate store of hard currency, which we think is the next cycle, not this cycle, then I think you're going to see, Bitcoin make a new high, and then it's going to pull back sharply, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and also going into the defense industry getting smashed. I was just looking at some Chinese news the last couple of days. They have ceased any antimony exports to the United States, and I think it went up to $34,000 a ton on a spike as well. So, cut off rare earth oxide class, but now we're actually seeing spike prices here. That's going to affect the entire global supply chain, but not a small. It was a vertical Loch Ness monster spike on these rare earth minerals here. So, if there's less of that, defense industry gets hurt. But, how much of that is our economy in the U.S. defense and sort of automotive and tech, higher tech?
Yeah, antimony is easily recyclable, and Canada just opened up a big, huge antimony mine. And people don't realize that antimony is mostly used in fire retardant, not in defense products. So, if the government really gets worried, they could just basically say, hey, you find another fire retardant, we're going to take antimony for us. The other metals that they stopped are a little bit more problematic. But all those things are recyclable. And so I think you're going to see some of that come into the forefront. China's in a world of hurt too, and I don't know, they're in what's called a debt trap right now. The more debt they produce, the deeper the hole they're digging. So China is the first major economy that's likely to fail, which was not on my bingo card in 2024. I thought it might have been maybe one of the European countries first, but China's in a world of hurt right now. And you're pretty close to that because of your connections and relationships. But the unemployment rate there is spiking. Trump is going to put a dagger into their heart with these tariffs and the trade balance changes, and that's going to I don't know if China can produce enough yuan out into the world to change things, but that's just going to make the dollar stronger, and it's going to then basically cause more deflation around the world. So we're going to go from being worried about inflation to being worried about deflation.